Hello again. It has been about 4.5 months since my last video post, and from the way I left things, you probably think that everything has been lollipops and cotton candy and woo, everything's happy and wonderful. It's kind of how I left it, and my days of getting off of Pristiq were interesting, but if that's how I left the impression, that's not how things have been. Not so much. And I wanted to correct that because I had a feeling that I just sort of left people hanging out there, and I'm going to kind of work on getting better with that. A little more of the video updates and some more honest help for everybody, because this is a journey and I'm still on it. So basically, I think I posted about 30 to 40 days worth of me getting off of the antidepressant Pristiq, and I did it. I have been off now, as I said, 4.5, coming up on 5 months. And to be perfectly honest, it's been a struggle. Would I recommend to anybody else getting off of Pristiq or any other antidepressant? I can't give you that information. That is a personal preference. That is a personal decision. It's a very serious decision. I would not encourage anyone to undertake it without deep consideration of what you're doing. Was it the right decision for me? Absolutely. Absolutely, no question. Have I had days when I wanted to go back onto the antidepressant? Yeah. If you're familiar with the movie The Matrix, and there's one point where the guy Cypher, who is sort of betraying all his friends, says he wants to get back into the Matrix because the steak is good. Well, some days it feels like that. I've had really good days since I got off Pristiq. I've had really crappy, deep, bad days. A lot of days are a struggle. I get out of bed every day, so that hasn't, I haven't been back down to a depressed point where I can't get out of bed. But there have been days where I want to scream and just go nuts because I can't figure out where life is taking me or what's going on. And so I'm going to try and be as real as I can with you guys. I've had many of those days. I've had days where it's just been hour by hour. Am I going to make it through? Am I going to continue on? It's been days when it's minute by minute. And, some days you just don't know if you're going to be able to get all the way through. I get up some mornings and it's like, man, if I can just make it to bedtime, and then I can sleep for 8 hours, and then I've taken another chunk out of the day or the week or the month or the year. So these are difficult times that we're in, and the antidepressants, I'm sure, help a lot of people, and so I'm not trying to convince anybody that they should get off. For me, it was the right decision. I felt when I was on the antidepressants like I was in this muffled, cotton-covered space where I really couldn't see around me. I couldn't see the things that were going on. And in some ways that's good, because a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world right now is scary and depressing and hard to deal with. So it was definitely a protective mechanism. But on the flip side, there was always this subtext of I could always feel like something wasn't right. And while I'm having a roller coaster ride right now, and please I don't want to make it sound like everything's really down either. I have really great days. I have really, really good days. Days I get out on the motorcycle and just ride, and it's great, and the sun is shining and things are good. I have days where business is good, and I'm really enjoying helping people with their computer stuff like that. What I really want to do, though, is help people on a more personal level, and so that's the reason I'm coming back up with these videos and going to try and be a little more regular on those. So I have had really, really good days, and I don't think that I would have had those days if I had stayed on the antidepressant. Pristiq leveled everything out. So yeah, I guess that's the function, and that's what the psychiatrists are trying to help you do. Level everything out. Well, that sounds great, but that level road doesn't give you the joy in life. It doesn't give you the terror and the deep depression and the darkness in life either. But the more I look at it, and the more distance I get, and the more into my life again, while it's still a struggle, I would prefer this life. If it ends tomorrow, I will feel like, for me, I made the right decision. Um, I don't think whoever, I don't think life is supposed to be all level road. Number one, a straight level road is boring. Okay. Um, I go back to the analogy of riding my motorcycle. When I ride my motorcycle, I like a curvy road. I like the fact that it goes uphill sometimes and it goes downhill sometimes. And sometimes, damn, you're going downhill and around a curve, and that gets scary because your bike's leaning. And, this is a total metaphor for life, because sometimes you're careening downhill at a breakneck speed, but, you're holding on and controlling the best you can. And that, to me, is a feeling of aliveness. So when I was on the antidepressants, while I didn't have those scary down parts, I didn't have any exhilarating peaks either. There was no up. So it's a strange road, and I've had people try and contact me or send me notes from YouTube about, how am I doing. So I'm going to try and respond to those, and I'm going to try and do more of these videos, because it's an ongoing process. And I think that the fact that there's a 4.5-month gap should tell you how difficult the process is. So I don't want to paint any rosy pictures for anybody. It's a struggle, and it's difficult, and it's life, and it's alive, and it's a mixed bag. There's good in with the bad, so I don't know how to say that any other way. Antidepressants will help some people because it really levels things out. And there are times probably in your life where you get so overwhelmed that you need something to calm it down and level it out. And so I don't want to say, I'm not saying that antidepressants are bad. I'm saying they may have a spot, but I will tell you from my perspective, for me, I was on them way too long. And so I think that that's the state of the medical establishment and psychiatry right now. Is the easiest thing to do is, we're not going to talk to anybody. We're going to have you into the office for 15 minutes. We'll ask you a couple questions, and then we'll give you a prescription, and you're good for 3 months. Great. I don't need that anymore. I don't want that anymore. I don't want to live in that cotton wrapped package anymore. Like I said, there's days I really consider going back, but I don't have those pills anymore. And it would have to be a long, extended time of me really struggling and not able to make it before I would consider going back again. But for me, right now, so far, I'm still off. I've been off for 5.5 months. For me, it was the right decision. I can't tell you if it's the right decision for you or not. I will tell you that my belief is, if you are doing an antidepressant, it should only be a short time solution. You really can't, I don't feel like you can live a life where you're on them full time. That's me, and I have no medical background. I have nothing. I'm going to do some more videos on some of the other things that I was on, and I think that that's another trap that we fall into, is the medical establishment these days is giving us all different kinds of pills to try and help with different problems, but then those each come with their own set of side effects. Please, if you're on a pharmaceutical, read the side effects. It's scary. I think I was on 3 or 4 different things from a stroke I had a couple years ago, and almost all of them, one of the side effects was dizziness. And so, well, yeah, great. My blood pressure is a little bit lower, but I'm walking around dizzy. What is the point of that? So, I don't know. These are the decisions that I've made. Are they good decisions? I don't know. Certain family members of mine may not think so. Others are very supportive, and friends are very supportive. For me, it was the right decision. I'm still working on it. I'm going to talk to you about it more. I'm going to give you more information on it from my perspective. It's one person who has no medical background. I'm just a human being walking this planet like everybody else. I'll give you my perspective. You take it with a grain of salt. You think about it. You see if it fits for you. So I'm not giving anybody advice. Please be clear on that. I'm telling you my experience, and you can use it in conjunction with many other people's experiences. There's all kinds of information out on the internet. There's a lot of good information from people who have done similar processes. For me, I was able to get off, and for me, it was a good decision. And for me, it's a daily struggle. Like I said, some days are good. I'm doing this today because today's a pretty good day. I may have a day where it's really shitty, and if I can pull myself together, I will try and do videos on those days too. Sometimes it's tough. It's tough to pull it all together. But what I want to say to you is I want to be there for you. I want to help people who are struggling with the same things that I'm struggling with. That is, bottom line, how I've always felt about my life. I want to be there to help people. And so if this in some small way helps some person out there, then I'm happy. And I feel like I've made a contribution. That's all I want to do. So anyways, that's the update. I will try and do more regular updates. Not going to be 4.5 months between this one and the next one. So I'll keep working on that. And thanks again for checking in. And hope your day is a great one. Talk to you later.